Hey, best friend, welcome to another Scraplift Crafternoon. I am kind of excited about where I'm going to take this layout. I was looking at it and I was like, I wonder. I love this little piece right here, but I was trying to think, is there an easier way? Is there a hack or something special that I could share with you to do this part? So I have something that I think you're going to like. If you are new here, hey, new best friend, I'm Karen. I'm the everything here behind the channel on YouTube, also on Instagram and Facebook. If you are a returning best friend, hey, so glad you are back. So let's dive into this layout. This is by Denise. I think that this layout is absolutely beautiful. And I am thinking, now I could be really wrong, but I am thinking that these are all the branding strips. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The branding strip, the part that comes off of the paper that we have to trim at the top, that always has all the good stuff on it. Lets you know what collection it is, has the barcode so you can buy the paper. And then a lot of companies will have at least a portion of the branding strip that you could use and cut. I'm trying to think. It may be Simple Stories that, like, on this side, it's half branding strip and then half pattern. And then when you flip it over, the side that matches the branding strip is now pattern. I think that may be Simple Stories. I could be really wrong. But I feel like that almost every company out there does that. So I feel like that's what she used. I want to do something a little different. Surprise, surprise, right? I want to do something a little different. I wanted to look at what I already had that maybe I could fake this look with. And this is what I came up with. I have this fantastic die from Hip Kit Club. This is a fringe die. It's 8 inches, so it's not going to cut the whole paper, but I'm kind of okay with that. So what I think I'm going to end up with are some longer pieces and some shorter pieces. But this is the paper I want to use. And then my plan is to cut these apart so that you get some of this feel, right? Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. I am using Hip Kit Club papers. I am trying to work through my stash and do lots of Disney layouts to, literally churn and burn because we have so many trips. And as I look at the calendar, we are inching closer and closer to being there at the end of October for the Wine and Dine weekend, which is my favorite thing to do, to run the race in person. Did it for the first time last year. Loved every bit of it. Begged Thomas, Mr. Karen, for those of you that don't know his name, to let us do that every year. And so far, so long as I agreed to take the RV, he's okay with it. So what that means this year is I won't be on property. I will be in the RV at a KOA. We can't get on property until after Halloween. Halloween is a whole thing at Disney. Y'all, I could do a whole video on it. Oh my gosh. So, anywho, I am trying to get through kits. I am trying to get through photos. I am trying to use a lot of things up that are in my craft room. So that leads me to this idea. Here she has used one photo. I'm going to stack 2. These are from maybe the fall of 2020, maybe the fall of 2021. I know it's the fall. I just do. But this would be one of the trips that Anna Claire came home from school, and this was her going back. And so this is her truck. And so there's always something that's very comforting about it being parked out on the front of the street because there's no room in the back We do not have a driveway where we live, so it's street parking. We happen to have an alley in the back, which is where Mr. Karen and I park. But when the kid comes home from college, this is where she parks. This is where she parked when she lived here too. So it's just a very comforting thing in my mind. So I want to do these two pictures like she has this one. So I've got a little bit of maneuvering I need to do to get everything to fit, but I think it's going to work. So we'll move that out of the way. This is going to be my background paper. I'm really kind of excited. I'm thinking that these are going to go, come on, we're going to go here, right? Maybe even angle them like in the original. And then we're going to do just a couple of strips because I want to catch the edge of this, of the fringe. This is the thought anyway. And as it goes around here, oh my goodness, the thought and the reality could be two very, very different things. But this is where I think we're going. So here's what I think we'll do. We will clear the deck. We will cut this into some pieces so that I don't have as much waste. I think this little die is about an inch. So I'm thinking cutting 1.25 inch pieces of this just so that I have a little bit of extra. Again, I want to do some longer pieces and some shorter pieces, and then I'll come back and do longer and shorter so that when we go to mix them up, it'll give kind of this flow feel. That's what I'm shooting for. But I think we'll clear the deck. I'll get this ready to run through the die cut machine. Will not bore you with that. My die cut machine is just like yours. I have a switch, so I'll just put it on there, run it through, get it done. And then we'll get this layout knocked out. All right, hang tight. All right, let's get into making this layout. The first thing I want to do is pull off the branding strips, and then I am going to cut down some 1.25 inch pieces to make my fringe width. And so I grabbed that, ran it over to the die cutting machine, and cut these pieces. One thing that I will mention here is that I did not realize how flexible cutting this fringe die was going to make this paper. And so you see me using a T-square, and that is truly because this paper wanted to bow. It just wanted to flex out the tiniest little bit, and it was making it a little bit difficult to get it to lay straight because of that wanting to flex out. In the original layout, we had so much of it that was kind of this rainbow pattern in these little flag pieces that I really wanted to mimic that here. And I did not want necessarily to have all of my pinks at the top and then yellows and then oranges, yellows, rainbow order down. So once I got them stuck down, I did go through with my fingers and flex out the fringe. And I really like the look that gave the layout. To edge this, much like in the original piece, I came in and added a border. Now, in the original layout, she did use a border punch and created this beautiful border. For this layout, I just went with the branding strips. I thought that was a nice pop of color. It matched kind of the feel of that part of the layout. And so that's what I did. Here, we're going to trim out our our photos with a little bit of darker paper. This is the back side of that really pretty cloudy rainbow paper. I do go ahead and edge that with my very favorite paper edger tool, and then we're going to get our main photo laid down. I know that I want to have a title and a little bit of embellishment on this layout, so we're going to call this layout Fall Break. And so I grabbed the letter stickers that came in this kit. They were the Chrysanthemum collection from Pink Fresh. Got those added in. And then I started looking through the die cuts. I really wanted a softer feel to this. And so I love the look of the mums for the fall, even though they're bright spring colors. I thought that they worked well. I used this kind of orangey yellow to balance out some of the colors up there in the black and white printed flower section. If I had actually stopped and thought a minute, I probably would have layered up my title onto some of the label pieces, but you know, alas, I didn't. I got super happy and started gluing things down because I loved how this one was coming together. So, you know, it happens. Sometimes we look back and think, oh man, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And that was kind of the feeling here. So we're just going to get all of these pieces glued down in place, edge out the pieces that need to be edged out. I do go ahead and add this little label. This is where I'm going to put the date for this weekend once I look it up, because I don't remember it off the top of my head. I do love this little saying that says loving every minute. I think it fits with our layout. We're going to add a few little hearts in. There is our lift. I do need to trim just a little bit up here. I'll do that in just a second. But I really like this. I liked that this layout gave us some room to expand. And I think that that's something that I'm personally looking for more and more in layouts, is that area that gives me the ability to add extra photos or change the photo configuration, but it not mess up the whole layout. Like if I had pulled, you know, photos over into this area, then we would have lost this really pretty fringe that I really like. I love how that works. In the end, this one makes me just happy. And, you know, I love that. I am going to journal on this. I am probably actually going to write on the back of this layout versus on the front. Maybe kind of a whole hidden letter kind of thing, because this is that truck being parked out front is very, very bittersweet. And to all of the almost empty nester mamas out there that have babies headed to college, y'all, there are things that like just the truck being parked that brought tears to my eyes for the longest time. And if I'm being absolutely honest with you, still does at times. Very, very bittersweet to watch that truck pull off. So I will have close-up shots of this, all of the links down below to the folks who are scrapping along with me today, as well as my favorite places to shop, and what else? Where I like to post. I'm trying to think what else is down there, because, you know, I don't always look at it, if I'm being really honest. But it does have all of the links. It's really good stuff that's down there, and I hope that you will go check that out. So, my friends, until we're together again next week for another Scraplift Crafternoon, go make some memories. Bye-bye.